Grace Randolph beyond the trailer.
Hi, Grace.
Hi, I was so thrilled to get to interview you because you are my favorite character on the
Oh,
Bad Batch.
thank you.
I love Omega. Now, who's your favorite character? And you can't pick your own.
I can't pick my own. Okay. Easy, actually. Especially in season three, Crosshair.
He was
He's
my
just so
runner-up.
prickly. He's prickly. I love a prickly character. I love a hard nut to crack, you know?
Omega's trying. Omega's trying. Without spoilers, I think that you have some really interesting scenes with Crosshair this season. What do you
Yeah, the
think of that
dynamic is
dynamic between him and Omega?
it's changed up for sure. And, there has been a massive betrayal, and then Crosshair has redeemed himself, which the audience knows, but the Bad Batches don't, right? But I don't think Omega's ever given up on who Crosshair is intrinsically. She has believed in him this whole way. So when she's this opportunity to be reunited with him, even though they're both sort of captives in this facility, it's a no-brainer for her that she's not leaving without him. And he's a bit broken. Like he needs her optimism and her energy to sort of want to break out and also to put himself back together. So in many ways, Omega's sort of become the caretaker, but because of her life experience and confidence, she's also like not scared to like provoke him and push him and give a little bit as good as she gets from him, which is I think a little bit surprising to Crosshair, especially when it turns out that she's got good ideas and that sometimes she's right. Um, I
No,
just think that the dynamic is great. It's so fun.
well, no, again, no spoilers, but there are some big changes for Omega this season. What do you think of how the character is evolving?
I think it's been set up. Like I think with her specific relationships with her brothers like Tech and Echo and all the learnings she's gleaned off of them, she's able to, she's by herself for quite a big chunk of season three. She's got to rely on herself. So all of that knowledge comes into play. And then also there's other knowledge like this question of why she's a target. And maybe there is an involvement in the reason why everyone is in peril so much is because she's got a target on her. So she's responsible for their danger. I think that weighs quite heavily on her. So that becomes a burning question for her to like figure out the answer to.
She's also very good in her action scenes. She's become a much more capable fighter. I was like, you go out there, Omega. What is it like to
I
see
mean,
her
yeah,
not have to always be like the damsel in distress or the kid in distress anymore?
no, she can hold her own for sure. Her brothers have trained her well. She's definitely not a liability anymore.
Yeah, I like that. Like again, no spoilers, but she's able to like be a part of the team, which I thought was really nice. She's not like a maverick on her own. I think that's really nice about, being a part of a group and not, and making sure things go to plan. I thought that was nice.
Yeah, totally. And there's this shorthand in the way that they communicate to each other. There is this knowledge of shared missions, shared working
Mm-hmm.
ideas, shared plans. So it's kind of, you're right. It's like this group knowledge that everyone has their role to play and can be relied upon to play it in order for something to be successful. And I like what you said about it. It's not an individualistic thing. It's not like, well, I've got the knowledge, I can go off on my own. Like
Exactly.
she,
Yeah.
yeah, she doesn't want that. She feels at home with the batch.
So the Filoni verse is, bigger than ever. And the animation and the live action content is all, there was always crossings before, but more than ever. Okay. So now obviously you can't talk about it. And I've only seen half the season. So I don't know all the answers. But what is it like for you to see all the puzzle pieces really start to come together across all of Star Wars storytelling?
I mean, I I've got big holes because I haven't managed to watch everything because as you mentioned, the Filoni verse is like constantly expanding and I'm like having to play catch up from since a very long time ago. Um, I think it's really cool that from, animated world like the Clone Wars that, key characters have gotten this extra sort of, well, literal dimension in being moved into live action. and a reimagining or like an interpreting that's added on by a live action actor. Um, yeah, I don't know. I wonder if the Bad Batch could find a place in the live action. That would be so cool because that's I'm primarily a live action actress. This is my first voice gig. It would be so
This is what
cool,
I'd
even if
like
I
to
wasn't
see
trained.
happen, Michelle. I mean,
I
this
think you
is
should
what I'm
pitch it,
hoping
Grace.
because Tamura
I
Morrison's already over there playing clones.
I
So I feel
know.
someday we could see you in live action as Omega, and I think that would be
I
really wonderful.
I love your thinking, Grace, and I urge you to to get the
You can
Filoni
send
verse to
this
listen.
interview to the powers that be and say, see, there's a demand.
I can do it. I can do it.
I think you'd be great. And
Thank
so
you.
the other thing that I wanted to ask you is because I can't ask you any spoiler questions because we have to be very careful. The Star Wars fandom is iconic. It's in many ways the first fandom. What has it been like being part of the family?
I still can't believe it, to be totally honest. Like it feels surreal, and I'm 3 years in. Part of that is to do with the fact that, for the most part, I'm sort of like contained in my little recording world in New Zealand. Part of that is because, to be totally honest, social media kind of freaks me out. So I dip my toe in every now and then just to sort of get a little vibe, and then I'm not very good at sort of like having sustained interaction in social media, but that's not to say that I'm not aware of what people are talking about. And really the celebrations that I've been to have been the two real world interactions where I've been completely blown away by just the generosity, to be honest, of people who just sharing their joy, and all different kinds of people, like genuinely people who speak different languages, or people different ages, different walks of life, but then all gathered under this communal sort of shared love of a thing that exists in fiction. It is just so beautiful. There's a lot of generosity and understanding, and to be even a little tiny tiny speck in that cosmos is I can't really believe it.
Oh, that's lovely. I'm glad you've had such nice experiences. And I can't wait to see what happens at the end for the second half of season 3. It's going to be really
Yes,
cool.
hopefully the questions will be answered, and I hope you enjoy it.
I'm sure I will. It was so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Grace.